The opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Happy New Year, Philippines. You are watching the Business Portal, your information source to business trends, opportunities, and money-wise tips. Coming to you live on Channel 8 via Destiny Cable and Channel 1 via GSAT. Good morning. I am your host, Rowena Suarez, and you can call me Ro for short. Our segment, Investment Academy, talks about the different ways to increase investment capacity, financial literacy, and awareness. Investment Academy will show Filipinos not only how to make money, but also how to create wealth. It's a sunny Wednesday. To you, our dear viewers, let's start the show with our Just Ask Crow portion. From Texter 2941, is investing in the market tedious work? I want to invest, however, I do not have time to always watch the stock market. What can you advise? Actually, I advise that before you get into the stock market and before you start investing, make sure that you study it well first. You study it, you can actually go online. There are free seminars, which actually our guest will also talk about it later. She has webinars also, and to teach you about investing. Going back to your question, if you think it's tedious, well, you have to know what you're going to get into, so study. And then also you can actually just go through it every morning when the market opens. That's when you start monitoring it. But if you think that you cannot do it, there's actually someone else can do it for you. Get a broker. For 017 from 0175, I have some money put aside for investment. I'm not sure if it's a good time to do it now. It's already in the 6,000 level. I'm afraid to lose my hard-earned money. Okay, when you get into stocks, it doesn't mean that when you put in your money now, you can make money later. Those are actually for day traders. But if you're not really a professional trader, I would advise you to just leave your money there and think long-term. And if you think now that it's 6,000 level, I know that in the next 5 years, it's still going to go up. So it's actually still a good time to buy. Although the market is bullish, it's going to correct, but it's not going to go back to the 5,000 or maybe the 4,000 level that you're expecting before. Another question from 6124. Aside from stock market, where else can I invest? Now, you can actually invest in there are mutual funds, there are UITFs, there are variable life investments. You can actually look in the market. You actually look at my website, www.rowenasuarez.com, and you can get some ideas from there. So for questions, you may get in touch with us through 0917-862-7576. That's 0917-862-86AskRow. You can also email me at justaskrow@gmail.com and Twitter, justaskrow. Some of the shows are also in YouTube. That's Investment Academy by Rowena Suarez. Our guest for today is a private trader, mother of 3, systems analyst, and an ex-beauty queen wannabe. Now, she has a book called High Yield Traders. Let us welcome our guest today as she talks about her journey from being in the corporate world to authoring her own book. Philippines, let us welcome our dynamic guest for today, Miss Charmel de los Santos Marshall. Good morning, Charmel.
Good morning, Ro. Finally, I'm here.
Yes, finally meet you.
Yes.
So, you now have your own book, and so what made you start this? What did you study literature, or I know that your background is more on
in
the
IT,
business,
yes,
IT, right?
yes.
So maybe you can tell us your journey.
Actually, it was really very interesting because I didn't have a writing career, but because I was doing something that people wanted to know about, I started a blog. So I'm really just a mom. And I work as a systems analyst from a business analyst background. And from there, we have our family and career, but I really wanted to spend a lot more time with my kids. So I decided I should invest in educating myself in investments so that I can grow my money, and then I will have more time for my kids instead of having to work, the usual 9 to 5. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started, and then my friends were all asking me, because I have more free time, I only work part-time now. I have to take a rest from the household chores.
Yes, yes, yes.
And because in Sydney, my friends would see me, checking my smartphone, looking at my stock prices, every now and then when we go shopping or, catch up in the cafe.
Yeah.
So they all wanted to know, and I have other friends as well from overseas or in the Philippines and the U.S. who wanted to know about making money from stocks. So I wrote a blog, and it became really interesting that people followed it. Even
Yeah.
people I know people I wouldn't know would email me, and from Facebook, my friends would see my links, and they will ask questions or put a comment on it. So
You said you were going back now. You were a systems analyst, and you were in Binibining, Pilipinas.
I was, 1998.
Wow,
Yeah.
that must have been an experience as well.
It was fun, definitely.
It was fun, and being with all the other beauty queens.
Yes.
And so, what made you really write the book? Is it because that you were a mother of 3, you
Yeah.
were a wife,
Yeah.
and it was quite hard to juggle a 9 to 5, and that paved the way for you, or that made
It's
you
really
write a
more
book?
about me wanting also to achieve financial freedom and really more time with my kids. And when I started to write my blog and became interested, there were a lot of people interested in reading what I was writing. I only had like 5 friends, so I write it 4. But because it's a World Wide Web, people would find it. And it actually became a challenge for me to be able to share more, because I know how good it was for me, the investment and, the income that I get. Even because I was on maternity leave, I don't have my job at that time. I took 1 year off. Say, how can you do that? You don't have a job on your own, but you're still able to do things that you enjoy, go on holiday.
Yeah. Like how can you work, or how can you make money in spite of all the freedom that you have, not tied up in a corporate job?
Yes. So it was a fantastic feeling to be able to do what you want with your time and with your money. So I wanted to share it, and it's really been a good journey so far. A lot of people have asked me also for workshops, so now I'm doing workshops. It's all just following the lead of people who really want to invest as well. And like it's an advocacy for me.
Yeah.
I do work with the United Nations Women for Women Empowerment as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's how
And that's
it all
based
came
in
together.
Sydney?
In Sydney, yes.
Okay. And writing this book, it's how many pages? It's like
300.
it's a
40 something,
340 page. And
Yeah.
was it? How long did it take you to write the book?
Well, because I started it as a blog, telling my friends the story about the concept of my experiences as well. It took me about 4 months to put the stories together, the concepts together. But because I've been investing for quite a long time before I wrote the book, so I have my set of procedures, I have my data that I already have, and my diaries, I write everything, kind of my thoughts, the lessons that I have from investing. So it became, at that time I was writing the book, I just put it together, organized into a readable format.
So
and
only in 4 months?
about six months writing, but I don't write every day. I just write maybe 2 to 3, maybe 500 words per article, and then I just put it together. The editing took quite a while, but the writing process is fairly easy for me. I enjoyed it.
Oh, is it because that you really wrote ever since? You had a passion for writing already?
I wouldn't call it a passion, but I'm always good at writing my thoughts. Because when you study investing, like you just said, is it tedious or not? I would be honest with you, if you really want to do very good income with this, you have to treat it as a business. You have to be serious in studying what it is you want to make money from. Because if you are conscientious in your studies, it becomes easier the next time.
When you say study, that means watching the stock market. Let's just refer to the question of our viewer earlier.
Yes.
Is investing in the market tedious work? I want to invest however I don't have time to always watch the stock market. So what can you advise this this viewer of ours?
Yes, it's a fantastic question because from my experience, I watch the market maybe 3 times a day. I just have my smartphone ready, you know, Wi-Fi is everywhere.
Market in the Philippines or
I watch Philippine, U.S., and Australian markets. So it takes me 1 minute each time to check the stock price of, you know, the one I'm holding. But before that, you have 15 minutes, for example. For me, I have a procedure, 15 steps that I do. And I separated, or what do you call this? I have 4 steps, for example, that I do in the morning. And then during the monitoring, I have 2 steps. So it is structured so I can follow what I've already done. So I've done step 2, for example, now it's step 3. And all that, your preparation in the morning is, you know, 15 minutes. If you're not a frequent trader, you can, like me, for example, when I was starting, I would only do 1 trade a month. So it is just to follow that 15-step in 1 month. And it's not really that long, as long as you have that format already.
So you're suggesting to our viewer here that when you do start investing, you have to organize what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
I think
it's a key to,
I think in any work that you're supposed to do, you have to organize your thoughts before you get into it actually,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, I don't
They're all random thoughts.
All random thoughts, and you won't get anywhere.
Yes.
So before you do that, you have to just organize and do have a systematic way of doing it.
Exactly. And I have it in my book. You don't have to sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, because
right,
from my experience in trading and also in my job, I was a business analyst. I write procedures. I write flow charts, you know, for the system, the business process that need to be followed. So it's really, I think serendipity is what you would call it. I was able to write a book because I have background in technical writing, and I was able to break down the steps for people to follow, and I've had feedback that they're specific and detailed.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming because once you're done, you know, 1, 2, 3 steps, you know that the next the next thing in the progression is to go in the next steps 4, 5, 6. So you already done the first step. You're not disorganized and you're not overwhelmed.
And so you're not wasting time.
Yes, and you're not forgetting the specific steps to make sure you're doing it safely and checking all the things that you need to do.
And at the same time, you're not forgetting your work as a mom.
That's
or your
right.
job as a mom, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the key is reorganizing and systemizing what you have to do in terms of stock trading.
That's right.
Okay, there's another question earlier that maybe you can also say something about this. The stock market has already gone to the 6,000 level.
Yes.
So is it still a good time to invest?
Well, anytime is a good time to invest, in my opinion. It's the investor who need to control the risk.
Yeah.
That's why we always go back to, you know, studying, educating, being aware of what the risks are. So 6,000 level, the economy of the Philippines is going strong. I visited here last January. The activity and the confidence of the people around, you know, to buy and to spend and to grow is still there.
The energy, right?
Yeah, the energy is there. So I would say you follow the market, and the thing about the market is that it goes in an ebb and flow, right? The sea, you know, the tide that goes in and out of the beach, that sort of thing. But who are you to stop the market if it wants to go up?
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So you follow it. But the key to being profitable in the stock market is to let the market do what it wants, but you need to have your own rules to follow so that when it's reaching your stop limit, for example, or your profit target is met, then you get out and take your profit or take your loss if you need to.
Okay, let's just example, let's say they have 10,000 pesos to invest.
Yeah.
And then after a certain time, okay, I want this 10,000 to be 15,000.
Right.
So once it gets to 15,000, then withdraw.
You can do that.
You can do
yeah,
that.
That's
Like
one of the ways.
The ceiling,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Because sometimes when the only thing is that when they get so greedy that, oh, I want more, and then suddenly the market goes down, then it's gone, right?
Yeah.
That's also another side of it.
Right. I was going to say something, but it might be a bit winded if I talk about it. But okay, let's just say you have a profit target. When you reach the profit target, you can get out. So that's one of the ways. The other ways is if you reach 15,000 but it's still moving, you just keep on. And then if you start to retract, then you can take out your money. So it depends on the time frame. The thing that confuses people is that if it reaches the target at a certain time, but they think it will still go up, they don't know the next timing for when it will go up. People don't have an expectation model of when they're investing. So when I did my advanced workshops with Banthorpe Institute, I learned so many things that your expectation models, how you will exit with your profit, how you exit with just a small loss so that you can go back in again. So those are the exciting topics that would benefit our investors that I'm teaching.
Another thing is that, let's say, definitely your book, High Heel Traders, is geared towards women.
Yes.
Towards women.
But it's for all. Yeah, the concepts work for all.
But a lot of women is probably, scared to step into that, oh my God, trading, that's not for me. It's, it looks so complicated.
Yeah.
So in this book, did you, did you did you make it sound like, or you worded it like it's easy for them to understand?
That's the feedback that I get. And the thing is, women really just don't realize how close trading or investing is to women's lifestyle. For example, I talk about the shoes. In picking out shoes when you're going out, you look outside at the market, at the weather outside, which is same as looking at the market condition. Is it cold? Is it hot today? So you're going to look at the weather first and before choosing your shoes. Sort of, if it's hot, just go to wearing sandals, something comfortable.
Yeah.
The market is like that. That's how you invest. You look at the market, is it trending up or is it going down? Then you choose a strategy that will be suitable for that market condition. That's one.
Okay.
The other is women dress up beautifully and put in all sorts of things. It's like investing as well. Because they say, okay, first, I actually have a chapter in my book called Dress to Trade. Because when women dress up, they put all sorts of things. Or we start, there's a ritual, right?
Yeah.
We clean up, okay? So for people who invest, you need to be clean-minded about what you're doing. Do not have apprehension that will make you scared about what you're doing, because if you're scared, you're already losing, right? So have a clean slate of mind when you start. The second thing is picking out the dress. So I say in the dress it has to fit you. So you cannot wear, for me, I cannot wear skinny jeans because I'm not skinny, right? So you have to choose a strategy or even the stock selection or even the asset class that you feel will fit you. You're comfortable with it. So I have certain analogies that I use in the book
that
to make it
geared
easy
towards
for
women.
Yes, that's why I wrote it for women in that way.
Okay. And so in the book also, is it only the stock market that you talked about in terms of investments?
Actually, the stock market is the focus of the book because for me, it's one of the easiest investments to get into, and what do you call this? A lot of people would be able to access the stock market as an investment. But it is a book about trading. You can use it for Forex, for people who are interested in Forex. And it's also applicable for derivatives because I trade options, which is a financial product on top of stocks. So you can use it for Forex, stock market, and options.
Maybe you can educate our viewers a little about the derivatives.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
Is it how different is it from the stock market?
Well, actually, derivatives are financial products that derive its value from an underlying asset class like stocks or foreign exchange or even commodities. So when you say derivatives, it's just a financial product. Usually there are contracts and there are two common ones, which is the options and the warrants. So these are not available yet in the Philippines.
Yes.
But I've heard that they're starting to look into it. And I really like options because it gives you a protection component or
So
a way to manage the risk.
You do this in Australia?
Yes.
This in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. you know, we have to take a break already. It's so
Okay,
fast, right?
yeah.
So we have to take a break for a while, and we'll see you in a few minutes. You're watching Investment Academy.